Well, hello, my beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of August, right through the end of September 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So with that in mind, let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile is the unified energy of how things come together. Also, it's worth looking up online what it means to be in a twin flame connection, because if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That is more likely to be a false flame connection, and that will drain you of your beautiful love and waste your wonderful time, okay? Now, twin flames, of course, they are magnetic. When you meet your person, it is obsessive. You can't stop thinking about your person. It's very intense and you're drawn to each other, and it is on both sides. I want you to be aware of that, okay? And whilst the relationship is very physical and romantic in its nature at first, the twin flame journey is more of a spiritual awakening rather than an actual physically romantic relationship. It's a process that prepares us to release low vibrational energy that keeps us stuck in either addictive patterns, unhealthy attachments, and even cycles of fear. Now, I'm scrying in the water at the same time as you're reading, and I'm seeing a scythe. Okay, a scythe. So this tells me that this relationship got cut short. I'm feeling a lot of sadness there as well. So I feel this is something that I feel like you got in really deep with this person and they put the brakes on. I feel there's an energy of like trying to work through a process in order to promote healthier kind of responses. That's something that's coming through already, but I'll get back to what it means to be in a twin flame dynamic, and we'll tap into your energy with the cards when I get all of the cards first there. But you know, this relationship is more of an inner vibrational transformation, and it is a personal journey of discovery, one that leads you home to self first before you connect to your twin, and it is a journey that must be done alone. There tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. This is a rite of passage that occurs in the twin flame dynamic. Now, it's not always typical, of course, but it tends to be a process that is familiar to people like that, shall we say. And, you know, I always say, do not wait for your twin, because you can wait for days, weeks, months, years, because remember, whilst you have a process to come home to yourself, so does your twin, and it can take a long time for them to really look at the stuff, because the twin flame journey is a mirrored experience. Both parties, when you look at each other, you're looking in a mirror at things within yourself that need to be healed. It basically reflects back to you your greatest strengths, but also your greatest weaknesses. So the twin who is the runner tends to look in that mirror and see all the things within themselves that they've been running away from their whole life. And they push their twin away because they're not willing to accept those things within self. They're not willing to look at their feelings. They deny their feelings. And they keep coming back to their twin because they feel drawn to their person. They feel love. They feel obsessively connected to their twin as well. I was a runner when I first met my twin, and I can tell you I thought about my twin every single day, numerous times, to the point where I was like, what is this? I do not understand. But I didn't realize at the time also that I was running away from self. I was afraid because I had been in a very challenging relationship that broke me into a million tiny pieces. And I was busy trying to put myself back together, and I couldn't love myself, let alone another person. So that was my story. This is not your story, of course, but I'm just highlighting as a perspective from being a runner that the runner feels the same way. They feel connected to the love of their life. Okay, they know when they've met their twin. So your person knows that they've met you. I mean, looking at your person's energy, they love you. This is how they feel about you, okay? They have the heart there, so a lot of love, but I can see with the stork, you've been waiting a long time for movement in this connection there, but you have the Tower as an outcome, which means sudden revelation, suddenly break free from like a cycle of repeat. But a twin flame dynamic, as I mentioned, is a mirrored experience. You know, it's a formed sacred union as a result of shared difficulty and pain. So you and your person would have had, you know, many challenges on the journey before you even meet each other. And any area that has been left unhealed, both parties have a job to do in the twin flame dynamic, which is to trigger you or trigger each other to promote healing, personal growth, and transformation. So, you know, your twin's presence is literally to amplify any area that has been left unhealed. It's a very exposing relationship. Both parties feel that depth of love. And some people do ask, you know, if they feel so deeply for each other, why don't they just tell each other? Okay, well, twin flames, they often don't know how to articulate their feelings from a healthy space because they have had, you know, experiences of trauma or struggle, heartbreak, and, you know, they often have an unhealed response that is triggered within them. And it's where the ego kind of hides, as it were. It's basically to protect themselves from feeling hurt. So when they feel that depth of love in a union with their twin, they feel fear that now that they've found a love like no other, they're afraid that they cannot keep it. They may feel that they're not good enough, or they may feel insecure, or if they've been cheated on in the past, you know, they start to feel that they will perpetuate a cycle like that. So there's many different layers to people, but also to the twin flame dynamic, and yours will be very unique to you, of course. So please apply any energy that comes out to your personal situation, but if it doesn't fit, don't try to make it. But this is, you know, a relationship reading where we try and understand both sides of the twin flame dynamic so we can understand an outcome. Okay, and I always explain twin flames like magnets, both identical in polarities, because you and your twin, you share a frequency that is exactly the same at the very core of you. Okay, and you know, if you think about magnets that are exactly the same when it comes to their polarization, then they attract each other but also repel each other. There's a space in between. It doesn't quite connect because the space in between, I mean, it's invisible, but it's energetic, and it's a blockage that is preventing both magnets from being with each other. No matter how hard you try, they want to be with each other, but they just can't. Okay, so the frequencies need to change, and your frequency change is elevation within self in order to focus on your true life's mission, your purpose, because twins, of course, they serve a purpose, they have a calling. How'd you like to receive? Thank you so much. I'm just asking my guides how they would like to receive the cards, and basically you have to go on a process to find oneself and connect to unconditional love, because you cannot love another person, you know, if you do not love yourself first. So it is a process, and only then can the relationship be sustainable and there be longevity in the connection. So, you know, if you think about those magnets, this magnet, let's say it's the chaser, as long as they change the frequency by putting all that care, love, devotion, and even obsession into their life mission, unconditional love, implementing self-care routines and finding emotional security within self, then you change the frequency. And of course, this magnet instantly comes closer because the frequency is now different, because you're responding differently to the connection. So then they get an opportunity to step up or step out. They change their frequency as well so that they can focus on their life mission, unconditional love. It often requires a person to step back so as not to enable the cycle of repeat in a twin flame dynamic. Because remember, the magnets, they just want to be with each other. They're just drawn to each other. They don't know why. They're trying to understand it all. None of us come here with a manual of how to do life, but at the same time, they can't quite connect. Remember, taking accountability and responsibility for actions is also important. So, if someone is acting in a low vibrational manner, that is not acceptable. But I want you to be aware that when a twin flame returns, how you'll kind of know is that your twin is making an effort to try and grow in the experience, because false flames and even karmics will trigger without any evolution on either side. It's just a perpetual cycle. It just ends in the same way. Nothing is changing, not even an effort, just someone coming back for the goodies, right? But a twin flame will actually be a person who tries to come back because they're drawn to their person, and they try to understand, they try to break through, they try to have the raw conversations, they try to go a little bit deeper every time because they want to be with their person. They don't want to lose their person, but at the same time, they remove themselves in order to process what happened, or if they get triggered again, they sort of separate for a period of time. So, that's a really bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame dynamic. But let's get to your cards. We have the Stork, my beautiful Capricorn. You've been waiting a long time for this person and watching and waiting. And Page of Swords, the Magician. Page of Swords can indicate that sometimes, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, you do think about what they're up to. You may even peek at their social media if they have social media there, because the Page of Swords is you're trying to understand things, but you're also trying to protect yourself and understand what went down here, because you thought about settling down with this person, nesting with this person. And the Stork, basically is very still. So right now, I feel there is something that has been left unsaid in this connection, and you may have even written a message to this person that perhaps you edit from time to time, but you haven't sent it to this person. I feel like you're holding back. You actually are the catalyst for change in this, because this is a waiting energy. It's like you're not giving to this. You're watching to see what this person will do next, or their actions, as it were. I feel like you're really fed up with this, because the Magician card is like, you are enough. You have everything you need within yourself to be your magical self. I feel like you're empowering yourself by being more creative, or, you are stepping into your personal power. You're looking at your life philosophy, your belief system right now. You're holding back. You're actually doing the healing, because it's number 17, which is the Star card energy. So you are aligning yourself with your truth, being authentic in this. I feel like you have a vision of your future where you feel like you wanted to be with your person, okay? You love your person. You thought about being with them long term, giving your life to this person, as in, walking this journey of life and love with this person. And at first it looked like it was going that way, but then suddenly everything got cut short. Now, we've got the Two of Wands for your person. There's this waiting energy, okay? Two of Wands is also to kind of wait and watch. So there's a bit of a stalemate going on here, even though both parties kind of want the same thing. I'll have to pull some cards to find out what's going on there. We got the Queen of Pentacles here as well. So I get an energy, and this is not going to resonate with all of you, but I feel that perhaps at the very beginning, your person may have kind of pushed a little bit to like move in or settle down, or talked about settling down there, because there is love, but it's like they're very changeable, very inconsistent, wishy-washy, like it's like they didn't know whether they were coming or going, let's put it that way. I feel there is this sense with that Queen of Pentacles of wanting security. A lot of your twins, whoever I'm picking up on right now, I'm getting this material kind of focus, focusing on money, feeling grounded, being committed to something, committed to work opportunities or there's this energy here of, conservation, kind of like being very independent, like I don't need anybody, even though they do want to be with somebody. And this is how they feel about you, okay? There's this energy coming off like, and I don't want to say the blame game, but it's almost like there was a thing about work or money, or, you know, perhaps they're like, there's no time, we haven't got time for each other, or something coming in here, okay? And this is just a fear. This is something that was put as an excuse, is what I'm being given in the way, because this figure on the Two of Wands is literally sitting on a crescent moon. So this can indicate this person, you know, they got so comfortable with allowing their fears to make them like wait and watch. This person has Hamlet syndrome, is what I'm being given. Like they take a long time to make a decision on something. But also this person got comfortable in their life before they even met you with uncertainty, because nothing lasted forever in this person's life. So they learned that love leaves, that when a person says they want to settle down, they want to live with you, or they want to be with you and they're in love with you, someone's going to flee the nest at some point. That's what this person is feeling deep down in their energy. And they do want security. They do want to settle down. And I feel this person, in your future, you'll have a conversation with this person. I'll pull a card on it to see a little bit further, but they're holding on to something. They're holding on to an outdated belief, okay, from a previous narrative. So if this person was left, because I feel actually this person has been left in the past, they've loved and lost, I feel like they preempt that it's going to happen again. And it's almost like they have almost like decided like, well, that's just the way my life went, so it's probably going to happen again. So I feel the fear overcame how they really felt about you, because I feel like this person wanted to settle down with you as well. And you may have had conversations with it, maybe even brief, but I just get this energy right now that you've been waiting too long and you're not giving to this anymore. You're not giving energy. Yes, you think about this person because this person is on your mind. And I do feel like there is a message that you've waited and waited and waited to send or communicate to this person, and you're just not speaking at this time. I feel like, you know, even this beautiful feather right there, it's not even their wing, but it's a beautiful feather, is over the beak. So you may feel that you cannot communicate what you want to say to this person because you feel like, you know, they wouldn't care. I mean, they would care, absolutely. They've got the heart there. But I feel like you've learned that the more you reach out, just like the magnets, the more that there is distance within this connection. And for some of you, not all of you, there may be a physical distance there, because we've got the Two of Wands, travel, you know, or, you know, physical distances there. So either you and your person live at opposite ends of the world, or, you know, there was something else in the way of this connection. But I feel there is this energy of you not wanting to wait anymore. You want to take action. When we have a stork, and it's number 17, so you are aligning yourself with your hopes, dreams, wishes, your prosperity, and also a brighter future to come, it can indicate that you are currently looking at healing some things that were present within you before you even met your twin. And for some of you, you're going way back to your family. You're going way back, because what I'm seeing here, I'm getting a strong energy with your person, so it may be more of your person's energy I'm picking up on, but I'm getting an energy here of like your person having an abandonment issue. Okay, so this can be that from the very foundation of them, because we have a foundational card like the Tower. It's like they were shook to their core right from the very beginning of themselves. So this can be they witnessed parents or guardians divorcing, turbulent energy, divorces, like, or separation, or people coming in and out, very messy energy. And it feels like they got lost in all of this. They felt really like abandoned. And this person's been soul searching, a lot of soul searching to find out who they are and why they got left. There is a very core wound in this particular person. So they feel like anyone who is important in their life, or should be important in their life, eventually leaves or abandons. There's something in this person. I'll get to their energy in a moment, but I feel that this process has made you reflect on your own journey before you met your twin. And right now, looking at the stork, there is this energy of like, you aware that you have waited a long time. And yes, you love. I mean, there's a Queen of Hearts on this card as well. I want you to be aware of that. The Q at the bottom and the heart. Hope you can see that there. So a lot of love, unconditional love for this person. You basically presented a healthy environment for love to grow. And it was a stable environment. But if you think about a nest, okay, it's in a tree, and it can be that, this person, very turbulent energy, stormy energy, that they felt insecure or not safe to express their emotions fully in this connection for the reason that they feel that everything would fall apart or it was not secure or stable. And it comes from the very foundation of them. That's what I'm picking up on. I feel intuitively you already know this, or maybe this person has communicated this to you. But the Page of Swords is in your energy because you're thinking about opening yourself up to new love, or some of you may actually be communicating with someone new right now. And it's interesting because, don't shoot the messenger when I say this, it's like you feel like you've been put in this position to seek outside the twin flame dynamic because it's stalemate. Nothing's happening. It's just on pause. And you're not waiting anymore. I'm getting a song right now, very famous song, Annie Lennox. It may even be the Eurythmics, not just Annie Lennox on her own, but I can't really remember that. I'm just being given the song. Okay, I'm being given a very specific part of it. Since you've abandoned me, my whole life has crashed. And then I'm getting the chorus, walking on broken glass. Okay, so very painful separation with this one. I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love, my beautiful Capricorn. Definitely at the root of this reading and at the root of your person or your dynamic, there is an abandonment issue. Now, I really get an energy that if you're talking to someone new right now, something isn't quite hitting the way the twin flame dynamic hits. And you're trying to work out whether it's a good thing or a bad thing right now. So if you are talking to someone new, I feel like you're exploring it, but you really wanted to be with your twin, but it's like you're not waiting anymore, okay? And for the rest of you who are not talking to someone new, you may be considering it because the Page of Swords is a new focus. It can be that, you're curious to see who else is out there, but also you feel like you've only scratched the surface of this twin flame dynamic. It got cut short before it really started to evolve. But also I feel like you're thinking about a new way of conducting yourself in this connection. So I feel like how you communicate yourself is different. It feels very kind of like shut down, or I don't want to say cold because there's a lot of feeling, a lot of passion. You feel so many things in this connection. But I feel there's a surface energy of like being very abrupt if this person comes to talk to you, which I feel like they will in the future. But right now I feel there's a message here that you're holding back on. I feel it's like you're having to take this decision to be really ruthless and cut the cord. Some of you may have considered that because it's just too painful. And of course this song may play in the next coming weeks or months that highlight you're about to meet communication with your person. I would say communication first rather than meeting up with this person, because looking at the energy, the King of Swords thinks before they act, and swords are all about communication. This person's going to reach out to you with like, I've been thinking about you, or I can't stop thinking about you, or I miss you. But I feel there's going to be something that's more personal in the message. It's not just like a drive-by message where someone says, miss you, and you're like, well, you could have sent that to anybody. This person has taken time or will take time with the message that they send to you, because I feel like they're going to talk to you about something they've been holding on to as a memory of both of you. And this is something that draws them back to you time and time again, okay? And I feel like whoever I'm picking up on here, you will have communication with your person, but physically meeting each other face to face won't come until way later is what I'm seeing, okay? But we have that Magician energy. I feel like you want to bring the magic back into like your everyday circumstances and reconnect to that spark within yourself. I mean, a lot of you, when you're thinking about your person, you are manifesting a conversation with your person. You're drawing your person back to you. So I would say just be a little bit mindful about that, because if you have a conversation about waiting for them, if you have a conversation in your mind, I'm talking about if you're manifesting conversations or, interactions with your person, or remembering communications with your person from your past, don't think about the time that you argued or having a conversation about waiting and all of those things, because you draw your person back to you in the same frequency. thoughts become things. You know, you are literally manifesting or magnetizing your person back to you by focusing on yourself, prioritizing your own needs, by actually withdrawing because you're waiting, you're not giving to this. It's not a game, it's an energetic exchange. You're removing yourself to prioritize your own needs, your family's needs, your healing, you know, unconditional love for self, emotional security, you know. You are actually a healer as well. So not only are you healing yourself, and you've also been called to heal your family lineage very hard. You know, you're breaking through some generational cycles here through your twin flame dynamic, which is very challenging. But I feel this is about you realizing that you are enough, and that actually your person stepped back because of their fears regarding abandonment and their insecurities around uncertainty. There's no guarantees in like relationships. We have to trust, and this person has a trust issue at the core of them is what I'm seeing. But the Magician energy, I feel this is about you kind of like manifesting interaction with your person, even though part of you is like, I should just move on. I just need to cut the cord and move on. You're out. You can't do this anymore. You're so fed up with the way things have gone. It feels like, yeah, I mean, maybe the walking on broken glass is like, it's painful for you to walk away, but you feel that's what you have to do right now because that is a self-preservation mode, okay? So again, I'm sending you a huge hug out there. Now, your person got the heart. This person does love you. So if you've been questioning whether they love you, whether this person's even your twin, even if there is such a thing as a twin flame dynamic, the answer is yes. The heart energy indicates that this person, there's a lot of emotion. And of course, this person like romanticizes the idea of what a relationship is, but they know at the core of them that they are in love with you. Okay. And they also have the Queen of Pentacles here. So this indicates this person wanted to settle down because this is a card of, you know, nesting, being with each other. This is someone who is also very committed to their plans. So someone who's committed to work, for example. And it's really interesting because I feel that this person is that. They've committed themselves to prosperity, to work, to ambition, but at the same time, they feel that way about you. So there's something here where it's almost like a misunderstanding of like being too busy for each other or having very different lives. And it just got like convoluted. I'm not really sure what I'm picking up on here. Also, there's a little bit of an age gap as well, but that's not a factor. I want you to be aware of that. I'm just going to pull a quick card. Can you show me a little bit more? Why is this a separate connection? King of Cups. Interesting, because I got a Queen of Cups energy from this stork card there. As I said, I hope you can see that Q and the heart. That's what that card means in the LENORMAND deck. And we got the King of Cups. This person thought that you were a perfect couple. Okay, but we got the Queen of Pentacles here. So I'm just going to pull a card and see what the Queen of Pentacles represents, because this person, I mean, they love you. So I'm not picking up on like a third party situation or an influence. Queens and empresses tend to be like matriarchal type energy as well. So you may remind them of a parent or a guardian, or perhaps the relationship reminded them of that process. We've got Page of Wands, we got the Lover's card, and we got the Ace of Swords. I mean, this person is presenting as someone who saw you as adventurous, someone who was like I think they feel like you're their soulmate. They may not have understood twin flame dynamic, because a twin flame dynamic is different from a soulmate in that it has a process. It serves a purpose for both parties to heal and go through a spiritual evolution there. But got the Lover's card. Okay, they're presenting with the Queen of Pentacles as how they feel about you. You were someone who is safe and secure and offered them like a foundation to promote a healthy relationship. There's even a cup on there. You really listened to this person. We got the shell there. You really heard their heart. I just feel like you got in too deep with this person. You know, with the Lover's card, I feel, you know, they saw you both being very alike in a lot of respects. So we have that King of Cups energy. We got the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is an energy of purpose. You help them find their purpose. And it feels very much, as I said, in the way that this relationship triggered an abandonment issue in this person, it also spun them off onto their sense of purpose. So they felt like, oh, okay, we're both talking about our purposes, our mission, or jobs, or whatever it is that you're called to do. And it's almost like this person misunderstood that in that process, they couldn't do both. This person may have talked to you in the past and said, you know what? I find that when my love life's going really well, my career is not going very well. And when my career is going awesome, my love life is not going really well. It feels like they couldn't balance out the two, but both of you can have it all. But the rite of passage must occur where both parties really connect to the sense of purpose. And I feel that's where they're at. So with the Ace of Swords, this is a breakthrough. It's communication. This person, Ace of Swords always means destiny. So this person realizes that you were their destiny and they cannot fight fate. But I feel they're getting so many cards here where it feels like it happened real quick. It's like it happened so quick and it had the potential to change their life, but they were afraid of change because of an abandonment issue. It's like this is the sort of person that when success comes knocking on their door, they're even like afraid of that success because it means there's change. It means their life is going to hit different. So I'm going to pull one more to see what's going on there. I feel this is something that they learnt from the matriarchal type figure in their life, mother or feminine guardian there, because I feel that the masculine energy abandoned the connection or left and kept their mother or their feminine guardian waiting. This is a generational thing. This person watched their parent go through a lot of turbulent emotions and they felt responsible in the family unit to be the person who has to step up and be mature. But they witnessed their parent go through a lot of heartbreak because of a person who abandoned the connection. And they were dealing with their own heartbreak as well. But I feel they've carried that with them, that when true love enters the mix, it leaves. And they see you as their true love. So in order to kind of protect themselves, because Queen of Pentacles is a very protective energy. It is conservation. It is like, okay, let's make sure that we preserve ourselves. So it feels very much like they shut down. They went into their shell, as it were, in order to make sure that they were in control. And it's almost like they see themselves as they didn't abandon the connection with you, even though you feel that way. And that's how it is being perceived from the outside, from my point of view as well. They got a Two of Wands, which means waiting. You know, what are they waiting for? I just want to just check out that energy. I mean, I didn't choose the cards for you, my beautiful Capricorn, and I wish that the twin flame dynamic was not like this. I didn't make the rules of the twin flame dynamic, but I'm here to understand them. I want to know what this person's waiting for. We got the Judgment card and we got the Five of Wands. So they're judging conflict. You know, there's an inner battle here. The Judgment card also is a card of another chance. So I feel like their matriarchal type figure gave someone another chance, another chance, another chance, and it always ended up with conflict, arguments, rivalry. I feel this person, when the rivalry is there, it triggers their fear of leaving. So I feel like they look at you like you kind of like get a lot of attention, or, you know, you outshine them in some way, and it has made them feel like they're not enough to keep you. The twin flame dynamic is a very exposing one. It will trigger, you know, an unhealed response to feeling like they're not enough, self-loathing, things like that. And I feel with that Two of Wands, this person with that Two of Wands is an energy of like planning to come back, but not seeing the results of them being healed. It's almost like they do not trust their own feelings, as it were. With the Five of Wands, that is rivalry. That is like they may see that you've got someone else, or that you're talking to someone else, or that there's someone else that they have been triggered by who may even be a friend of yours. There's jealousy or like insecurity at the very root of this person. And, you know, no one should really control another person. I mean, in fact, the most powerful thing you can do is transform yourself rather than try and change another person. So I feel this person, it's like they remove themselves in order to not go down that path because they witnessed something within themselves that they have seen in their parent. So that's something, it's like they're judging themselves. It's like they have repeated a cycle in some way. But also the Judgment card is their calling. I feel like there's this energy of like misunderstanding when it comes to the calling part or their job or something. For some of you, not all of you, it may be that their job is at a distance and they went after their job and it's overseas or something like that. That may be resonant for some of you, not all of you, of course. But this person judges themselves heavily as to the conflict in the connection. They're aware that their actions have repercussions. And I feel like they're kind of like wondering, how do they come back to you? What words do they use? How can they express themselves? What can they say? Because, you know, they know that they need to come back good to you because they've got the heart energy. And, you know, the Five of Wands, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, you know, the 5 people on the Five of Wands, there is, you know, each person with a wand, and they're trying to create a star. And it's basically like a lot of people trying to make something, and it's very clunky. It's like very messy. So I feel this person, they were very messy, and there may have been a lot of influences, outside influences going on. Everyone's telling them what they should do or what they shouldn't do. And I feel like they have a very strong matriarchal influence. And, you know, the star, when it comes together, because the wands, they're all trying to make the shape of a star. The star is healing. So this person, they're trying to heal something, but it just feels like there's a lot of people giving their input. So it's like just when they feel like they know where they're at, something happens where it all falls apart. So they're trying to get their life together in some way in order to return to you, because the Judgment card is another chance. But there's conflict. So it's almost like this person removed themselves so you wouldn't get caught up in the conflict or the crossfire of something to do with their family or their friends, or it just feels like there's a lot of messiness with this person and they need to confront the obstacle. So I feel that's where your person's at right now. So when you have a Two of Wands, it means they're sitting with self. They're trying to find a little bit more silence in their life. They are... it's like they're reaching for the healing, but they're not seeing the results. They slip into old patterns or cycles of repeat. So that's why they feel like they cannot come to you until they've actually got themselves into a point where they have a platform to make the relationship sustainable. You know, Two of Wands is a time to wait. So this person is waiting for something, okay? And it's a choice that they're making right now. But I feel like they are determined to come back to you in some way. It's like the obstacle is the delay, and this figure is literally sitting on a crescent moon. So they are observing their fears from a higher perspective. The moon is all about the, you know, the undercurrent, the hidden, the reason why someone has to go through the shadow self. They need to look at all the stuff that needs to be healed. So it's almost like as soon as they start to look at that, they're out. They try and make it work, they're out. You know, it's like little by little, stop, start. So you may actually have this person trying to re-enter your life during moments of challenge because they seek solace in you. But at the same time, you know, you're here to have an experience. You're not just here to be someone's emotional crutch. You're someone who is here to have a wonderful, romantic, passionate love story with your twin, or not, depending on whether you decide to take the twin flame journey or not. That's your prerogative. I can't choose that for you. I can only give you the dynamics of the energy of what is coming out right now. I feel for the next coming weeks, there is a pause because your person is waiting and watching and you're not giving to this. But I would say after the 6 weeks, you got the Tower, which is basically, you know, a liberation from a cycle of repeat or feeling stuck. I always say the Tower is like a prison, you know, it's a construct that we kind of build ourselves sometimes, or even circumstance builds it for us and we remain stuck in it until we take action and do something different. And I feel like you're breaking out of that by changing your response to this person, by going silent or removing your energy. Even though there's something you want to say to this person, my beautiful Capricorn, I feel like you're done. It's like, what's the point in communicating? Because it just ends up in the same way. And you know, with that Tower energy, it's number 19, which is the Sun energy, which is an awakening. And if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot or any Tower card, there's normally a lightning bolt, which is a higher frequency, shattering illusions of fear or inauthenticity. in order to rebuild. So, this is a period where you and your person, there's going to be a breakthrough, a revelation, as it were, where you break down the walls. This person is learning to break down their walls, to let you in, to overcome or conquer a fear or an insecurity of abandonment issue. That's what I'm seeing here. Now, of course, trauma makes people respond differently, but they have like hypervigilance, or they're in fight or flight mode, as it were. So they're always like on the run in some way. And as you can see, this person, they're removed. And the moon is there, which means they feel more comfortable to protect themselves because of their fears than to interact and just see how it goes. And that's where they're at right now. But they will actually break through this cycle. And I feel like they are starting to become aware that is something from their childhood, or it's something that they witnessed or experienced, that they have emulated a pattern or a cycle of repeat. So I feel like this person's reaching for positivity. I feel, the sun energy, because it is number 19 there, is like a revelation or an illumination, as it were, of something to do with the family unit or breaking free from a pattern to liberate oneself. So I feel because you have the Tower as an outcome energy, it means sudden change. But I also feel like the person you're dealing with was a very chaotic person, and they were trying to understand life and love. And I mean, you were also trying to understand those things, but I feel that there's something in this person where they just felt like they could not give to you, that you have everything that you need, that you're someone who's very independent, that, you could have anybody. Why are you choosing them? They may have even said that to you, like in a very intimate moment, like, why are you with me? Or why do you want to be with me? It wasn't an ego rub that this person was searching for. That was a moment of vulnerability where they were literally telling you, without using the exact words, like, I don't feel like I'm enough for you. Are you going to stick around when you feel like you've seen the real me? Because the twin flame dynamic is very exposing. Now, I'm not here to make you feel sorry for this person or, give this person a free pass or a way out. Once a person can conquer the fears or insecurities, then of course they can offer healthy love. So this, as an outcome means that breaking down the walls, liberating oneself, and it's even like number 6 there, 6 of spades energy. So that's about doing the work. It's about, digging a little bit deeper to find balance. And 6 is the Lover's card energy. So that means, looking at options and choice in love and, finding your way back to yourself. I feel this person, they actually saw you as a really good friend as well. So they kind of grieve that they found everything in you, the full package, but their fears kind of like overwhelmed the whole situation. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Your person is holding on to something from the very foundation of them, okay? And with the King of Swords, I feel like they're seeing that at this moment in time, and they're thinking about that. So your presence being removed from their life, it's like you're teaching them what it feels like to not have you in their life. And you're not doing it as a game, you're doing it as a protective measure. And it is teaching them, and it's triggering them to want to come forward and change. Even on this Queen of Pentacles, there's a cup there and there's a snake. So it's like their emotions are changing. They are looking at wanting to settle down. They're looking at domesticity. They're looking at wanting to be more playful, letting their emotions come forward. I'm actually seeing a big dam in the water right now. I mean, it even looks like the Hoover Dam. I don't know if this is relevant, but it's like little cracks and all this like water starting to come through. So I feel like the process of you changing your dynamic is making your person kind of release themselves from the fears. They're being more grounded, and they're realizing, I mean, there's 2 identical people there. They're realizing that you are their twin. And the 4 of Pentacles is an energy of taking ownership, of like building a solid foundation, of trying to find security in the existence of the divine plan, of the twin flame dynamic. What is meant for them and what is meant for you will never pass you by. This separation period is actually for your highest good. It doesn't feel like that, but it is forcing you both to do the work and focus on your sense of purpose. But this is a card of longevity. So I feel you and your person, there is an energy of long-term security in this relationship, but need to break down the walls, okay? And I feel this is about your person going through an ego death, you know, rude awakening, a realization, an epiphany, where there is a paradigm shift here so that they can see how their actions had consequences. And, you know, the King of Swords is an energy of detachment. So I feel that they detached because they're holding on to something, but they will communicate this to you in the future. I feel like you will have a communication, a conversation. I mean, the King of Swords is actually connected to the Judgment card as well. So I feel this person will take accountability and give clear, rational kind of communication to you about what went down. And for some of you, not all of you, when a King of Swords appears, it can be that the nature of divorce or someone being a widower is in the mix. So this can be that there was some challenging energy that they witnessed when they were younger that either led to divorce, or perhaps it was a very turbulent relationship and, you know, eventually their matriarchal type figure was widowed, but actually had a lot of struggle in the relationship with that person anyway, a lot of complex feelings. But it could also be that your person or you have been a divorcee, or there's some sort of dynamic there, and it's like they're questioning love. You know, they don't rush into it, they observe it because they feel that love leaves, or love does not stick around. Love causes pain. So with that King of Swords, there's an eye right there that is to, you know, open the third eye chakra to actually become aware, to see. I feel this person is having an awakening. They are seeing right now. You're in a period of knowing. They're in a period of seeing. And if you think about the chakras aligning there, of course, the seeing is the third eye. And then, you know, you are elevated in your frequency because your crown chakra is activated at this moment in time. I hope you can see it's very faint there, but there's two very rare white tigers there. So I feel your person is recognizing how rare this relationship is with you. This person could search all around the world and never find a person like you because you are their twin. And these white tigers, they are identical. They're twins, you know, in this card. So it highlights that you and this person, there will be a conversation in your future about how rare it is that you found each other. I mean, even on this card, there's twins. So I do feel that both of you are separate for a reason right now. I'm just going to pull a quick card on that before I move to the final deck. Can you show me a little bit more about this dynamic? Anything more that my beautiful Capricorn needs to be aware of? Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is to be protected because there is, you know, mental anxiety or anguish. It is often, you know, a card that highlights a self-imposed restriction. This person is withdrawn on purpose, isolation. It's like they've been imprisoned with fear in some way. But it is a card where you release yourself from denial to see things as they truly are with clarity because you have the Tower there. So I feel there is a strong revelation occurring with your person. And 8 is the number of the self. So both of you, you know, it's a period of pause on purpose to reflect on yourself. But it's really interesting because it is having the courage to face whatever you have to face. And that's where your person's at right now. And that's also where you're at right now. And the universe will bring you back together when the moment is right. We have the King of Pentacles energy and we have the Hermit. So for some of you, if you are dealing with a person that when you met them, they were married, okay? The King of Pentacles and the Hermit means solitary energy. They are going through a separation. I don't really like to talk about that because you should never influence a connection. People will take karmics throughout their life because there's a lesson that needs to be learned there about self-worth. Okay, so I feel that's important to recognize. But for those of you who are not with a twin who is married or was married, okay, there is an energy here of King of Pentacles coming home to self. Again, there is another highlight about, like, you know, a couple energy, having a secure relationship. Being serious about settling down. And the Hermit is the spiritual revelation or evolution that actually triggers this. So both of you have to be like on pause on purpose in order to create stability in your life, to kind of like focus on your own needs, your prosperity. I actually feel there's a very, and this is unique, like practical kind of root cause here, where a message kind of got like misunderstood, a misunderstanding at the very beginning. Like, oh, all right, you're too busy. Or yeah, we got to focus on purpose. Or yeah, that means I can't do the other thing. It's just like, let me just shut myself off to focus on this. And I feel there was a mixed message there at the beginning. But the Hermit, of course, indicates that you and your person, you have to be separate right now. There will be a communication and there will be investment, long-term investment in your future, but it's not now. Okay, so can you find your way back towards this person? The answer is yes. Whether you want to or not, that's your prerogative. Not everybody wants to take the journey of the twin flame dynamic, but there will be a period in your future where your person breaks free from the grip of this abandonment issue. You know, there is this quest for personal truth right now, spiritual illumination, and then I feel, there will be a point where you come together to see if you can make it work. And then you get to decide, walk away forever, cut the cord, or move forward and be with each other. So we have, I miss you more than I've been showing. And I feel that is the truth of your person. So I'll show you that. I miss you more than I have been showing. And I feel like that's on both sides, but it is a protective measure, which is understandable. I'm pretending that everything is okay. Yeah, your person has a bravado, I would say, but they do remove themselves when anyone gets too close to them, but especially you, because you've got in deep there. They actually thought about settling down with you. They may have mentioned it, as I said at the beginning there, they may have mentioned it very much at the beginning, like, you know what, let's just move in together, let's just do this. But then suddenly it's almost like they talked themselves out of it and the fears arose. They were trying to break free from a pattern, but they couldn't. And I need this journey to understand my feelings. And that's what your person's doing right now. They're having this journey, this separate journey to understand their feelings. And it's not just whether they have love for you, because of course they do, looking at the energy right here. It's more than that. It is right from the very foundation of themselves, because they have very mixed feelings about love, about commitment, about marriage, about themselves. And I feel when they understand, because this is a card of understanding, King of Swords is all about knowledge, understanding, and remaining detached until one can understand a little bit further. I feel also there's an energy of being bullied here. So either you or your person was bullied when you were younger. That's something that's coming through very strong as well, right at the end. But I'm not sure how much of a bearing that had on the connection, other that when you get into a connection with a person and you feel exposed or vulnerable because they're seeing the real you, that can sometimes amplify a fear of like, oh my gosh, what if they see the same things as I was bullied for example. So that could be something that's present in your person's energy, but also in yours, because I'm not being able to decipher whether it's yours or theirs right now. I got to be honest with you. When I can't get it, I will say. I'm not going to make it up for you. I'm just going to give you what I can feel and see at this time. So yeah, I'm just going to go and get a trinket. Or even a rune. A rune came out actually. Oh no. Well, it is a type of rune there. It's an arrow. So the arrow is an energy of like battling through something, sacrificing something because they needed to focus on something else, but also having the courage to face a fear. This can indicate that it is a journey, but also when you get the arrow, this is about direction, finding purpose. And I feel like that's what your whole reading was about. Your person focusing on purpose and you also focusing on purpose. But your person, it's like it got lost in the crossfire of this connection. Like they thought that just finding their focus was them going off and doing just that, and kind of like one thing couldn't work if the other one was working. So it's like they felt like they couldn't have it all, but you both can have it all. You can share a lifetime with each other and focus on purpose. But something, perhaps they got told this in their youth, to focus on their purpose or work or ambition, and love comes later. They can wait. And it just really kind of mixed them up a little bit is what I'm seeing there. There was an inner battle with this person. Again, that doesn't make it right, but I'm trying to understand it so I can understand an outcome there for you. What I see here is a breakthrough in the future, communication, and almost like the communication is about the destruction of the relationship, picking through the bare bones of the relationship to try and save it and make it work, and how their actions had consequences and destroyed something that was starting to be built into something really solid and true. And that's something they will take accountability for in the future. Will you see each other face to face? I would say not in the next 6 weeks. Definitely not. This reading is for 6 weeks. I feel your person is thinking about communicating and asking to meet up with you. So there will be a reunion vibe happening for you, but it's after 6 weeks. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Capricorn. Now, also, I do apologize. The neighbor's dog is out. You know, when the neighbor's dog gets out, it's just new to the neighborhood and it's not really fitting in very well. So hopefully, with compassion, we can all make sure that it feels a little bit more connected to the surroundings, but it does kind of like bolt occasionally. So I do apologize for the sound there. But if you would like to enter a competition to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji in the comments box below of a candle. Okay. And if you don't have access to a candle, just write the word candle, because this world definitely needs more light. Okay. So I will be drawn to one subscriber. It has to be a subscriber because I can't find anyone's name if you're not subscribed to the channel. That's just not me trying to like get sneaky subscriptions. Subscribing is free, by the way. I just want you to be aware of that. But basically, YouTube changed the algorithm. So if you type in someone's name, you can't find it unless it's connected by a subscribe button to your channel. So I just want you to be aware that I won't be able to find you to give you the details of how to get the reading unless you're subscribed, okay? And if you don't win and you don't want to be subscribed anymore, you just unsubscribe. So I'm not trying to be sneaky in that respect. I'm just highlighting that in order to find your name, it'll have to be a subscriber there. Also, I'll announce the winner at the end of September, okay? So I will leave it there, my beautiful Capricorn. Thank you so much, and love and light.